You can see it from a mile away, banking up the block line, banking up the block riding through the hood. We riding through the city. I got every club riding with me. You can see it from a mile away, banking up the block riding through the hood. We riding through the city. I got every club riding with me. You can see it from a mile away, banking up the block riding through the hood.
One of our friends, Tommy, shows up on his bike, and he's with this kid, Jonathan. Now, we didn't like Jonathan that much because he's an asshole. No other way to put it. He was kind of a dick. And Tommy just hung out with him because he had a Sony PlayStation.
10,
9,
8,
7,
6, 4,
3,
2,
1.
showtime.
Sueros. Vegas strong, son.
What's up, everybody? And we're live. How's everybody doing out there? My name is Tony Vegas. This is my man,
Danny Ssonn.
We are here on the 113th episode. Man.
113.
113 episodes. Man, 113 episodes, dude. It's every time we jump in and we're about to start the show, I trip out how many episodes we've done,
yes,
man.
Sir.
It's pretty trippy. How was your week?
Busy, man, but it's been good though, man. Just staying busy, getting some stuff done. We're doing a lot of behind the scenes stuff, so I'm excited.
Yes, I'm super excited for what's going on. We have a lot of changes going on to the Pedals Up podcast show. So for those of you guys have been on our show from the beginning, you guys are going to be seeing a bunch of crazy things because you saw it from the beginning and going on. But we want to let you guys know where we are located so you guys can check us out on Facebook Live, which we're on right now. Okay, we're also on YouTube Live, where we're on right now. Don't forget to like and subscribe to those two. And also we're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and all our latest information will be on our Instagram. Okay, so so check it out. If you're new to the game, if you're new to the scene, and you're first time into this show, welcome. You know, you're gonna have a good time, and you know we have a lot of information. It's just a bike life talk. So that's a pretty cool thing that we do. So yeah, man, it's just a lot of things going on, you know, and a lot of rides are going on. We are going to do something different. We are going to go do the rides of July. Okay, because we have a guest, so we're condensing down. So we're doing the rides of July. You're gonna start seeing some changes in the show for the better. We actually it's a good thing. So stay tuned for that kind of stuff. And there's gonna be a great video at the end, so don't forget. So let's start off with our sponsors.
Yes, sir.
Because our sponsors believe in us and we believe in our sponsors. So hey, Bassett BMX, made in America.
Oh yeah.
You know,
quality parts when it comes to parts.
Yes.
Bicycles, they are a leader of this when it comes to the big BMX game. So shout out to everyone who got them Bassets.
Heavy hitters.
Yes, sir.
I always got to throw out heavy hitters because they're the only crew that I know that has that many Bassets that I saw.
Shout out the ones that have them pristine, have them clean. So shout out to Bassett.
So Bassett, made in America, from Riverside, California.
And
yes, Brad Marlon, you know, we got the man here tonight. You know, that's his room, that's his guitar room. This guy is a legend now. I feel he's in the game. But you know, as organized as you see those guitars, you should see his bike collection is beautiful. So, but he is here tonight. We're gonna talk about all that kind of stuff. So, oh man, I'm excited for this show.
And the cool thing is, he's a Las Vegas local, so he brings that Las Vegas flair to this. So you guys are gonna get a nice behind the scenes look into a day in the life of Brad today.
Yes, it's going to be cool.
Very excited for that.
So thank you, Brad, for being one of our sponsors also. And who else?
Jimmy Peak with Peak Cycles. One of the best YouTube channels out there, man. If you're not subscribed to it yet, check it out, really, because you got to like, subscribe, and remember, guys, two shares makes it happen. Yes, sir.
make things happen, let the algorithm go and let it flow and, you know, get it bigger and bigger. But that channel right there is gold.
Yes,
you need
sir.
to watch it. All right. Who else we got?
We got E3 with E3 School of Engraving. Oh man, myself and Tony are two graduates of it. Learn you a new skill today. A 2-day course out here in Vegas. Hit him up, Scott Morisato, the instructor. Very knowledgeable when it comes to this engraving stuff. So remember, check out E3 School of Engraving.
Yeah, and if you come from out of town and you're part of the whole bike life thing, and you go over there and you let us know that you're going, hey, we'll record you and stuff. So but a little extra bonus right there. So come out, E3 School of Engraving out here in Las Vegas, Nevada. All right, who's next?
We got HB, Mr. Robert Belia with HB
Belia.
Cruisers, an OG in the game when it comes to these stretch cruisers.
Dude.
When it comes to these bicycles, because he's killed it with the tandem.
He's killed it with BMXs.
Yes, sir.
He's killed it with the cruisers.
So to label it, it's just quality bicycles. That's what you get when you get an HB Cruiser,
Yes.
man. So check him out.
Check him out, and he's a legend also. So
Yes, sir.
Must have one of his bikes. Coast to Coast Trophies in the world. Best trophies known to mankind. Yes, Coast to Coast Trophies gave us a care package with a bunch of other trophies for like when Pedals Up podcast picks and the SoCal show trophies, and man, it was a great care package, and they all look badass. So thank you very much, Coast to Coast Trophies. And if you guys need trophies for anything, for all kinds of needs for your events, hit them up. Let them know that Pedals Up podcast sent you. And dude, JR and Shannon, they're great people, and they'll make sure they'll take care of you and your trophies.
And if you win you a bike of the month.
Oh yeah, you win the bike of the month. They are also the main sponsors for the bike of the week, bike of the month, and the end trophy, the big trophy, the bike of the year.
Yes, sir.
So yeah, so shout outs to them because they're hooking that up, and they make the trophies look like magazine covers too. So it's pretty dope. All right, who's next? Marissa Mays and Light Me Up San Diego. Yeah, man. Dude, have you been seeing all the things she's been doing with the kids?
Amazing stuff with
So dope.
Putting together a lot of these rides. And the cool thing is they're at night, so you got all the cool lights.
Yes.
And she's got all the cool lights. She's the hookup. So if you ever go out to one of her rides, get there early, get laced up, because she puts them on. She puts them on herself.
Yes.
So check her out, man. Definitely give her a follow. And if you're looking to move out to the San Diego area,
Buy a casa. If you need a casa, she got you to get the casa over there, or a big casa or a little casa, but she got you if you want to look for a home.
or maybe you're trying to leave.
You're
San
trying to
Diego
leave your
to come
casa
to Vegas?
to come to Vegas?
Let her know.
That's possible because we're cheaper here. It's too expensive in San Diego.
You can buy 2 houses.
So she can sell your house and sell your house and help you buy a house. So hit her up if you need a house. Marissa Mays. Really dig it. All right.
And then Mr. Clyde,
Clyde
James.
James.
Yes,
So
sir. Check
good.
him out, man. If you're building yourself a bicycle and you need some parts, check out his web page, his Instagram, his Facebook, all that stuff. And I'm sure you can find what you're looking for because he ships also. So that's the cool thing about this. So check him out, man.
Yes, I'm about to hit him up because I've been watching a lot of clunker videos, and I'm like, I need clunker parts, guy. All right, man. Thanks. So is that all of them? Wow, that's all of them. All right, man. So I mean, we have. Thank you very much to all the sponsors that are our sponsors right now, and for those of the sponsors that have been in the past before. We greatly appreciate you because without you guys helping us with the show, we would not be where we're at today because it takes a little money to get the show going. And and if you guys want to be a sponsor to one of our shows, you definitely can be one of our sponsors on one of the show. We do the flyer, any kind of information that you guys have, we put it on our show, we put it on all our social media. So if you guys want to book us to any of your guys' shows, we are booked to go to the SoCal show, which is going to be one of the biggest shows out for this year. So I'm so excited for this one. So if there's all the information, so if you guys ever want us to go to one of the shows, just call that number or email, and then our manager will send you the information to see if you guys want us to be at your show. So it's pretty cool. Good times.
Yeah. And make sure that you guys follow us right on YouTube, Facebook. If you're new to this, wherever you're watching us, if you're active on the chat, because we can't see the chat, and a lot of you guys use the chat to promote whatever you got going on, because a lot of times with these rides, we tend to forget things, or we don't see everything, because a lot of you guys are super active. There is a lot of things out there. So shout out to the ones that do reach out to us with their information, with the flyers ready, everything going, because a lot of this stuff we can't just share Facebook a page or an invite or this. You know, we would love to, but we can't. So we have to cut this down. So shout out to everyone again who reaches out to us with the information. So speaking of rides, let's get into some rides.
Let's get into some rides. All right, the Coyotes rolling with the crew, taking it to the old school. Oh man, I love this flyer. Yeah. Good job. Is that John? Is that John?
This the happy birthday ride for Robert. Big fan of the show. Shout out to Robert and new friend out there reaching out to us. But Friday, July 8th. Going down in Phoenix, Arizona, the meetup at 7 p.m., right out at 8 p.m. And again, man, this is celebrating Robert's 69th, man. Congratulations on reaching that magical number 69, son. Yes. So have you a good time. And if you're out there, remember, man, rolling with the crew with the Coyotes.
Yes. Oh!
Yeah, there it is, son.
So again, many of you guys.
Friday, July 8th, out in Phoenix, Arizona.
All right.
And then you got Saturday, July 9th, open house event, 10 to 3 p.m.
Wow.
And then you got also a bike ride out there with
Fresh.
6 years out there celebrating. So this is cool, man. Out in Clovis, California, Saturday, July 9th. And again, man, the open house from 10 to 3. Make sure you show up early, support. And then you got the bike ride that starts at 4 p.m. So yeah, man.
And what else?
Oh, you got the Midwest Explosion, man. July 8th through the 10th, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, man. This is going down out there in Cleveland, man. This is a big event. If you're out there, if you can make it out there, man, this is beautiful. Starting on Friday, you got the beach takeover, meet and greet, pedal through the city, man, which this is going to be official, man, out there in Edgewater Park. And then Saturday, son, you got a picnic, bike show, Color Count Midwest Ride, Woodland Hill Park, son. This is going down, Midwest Explosion, picnic, and then Sunday you got the farewell brunch, the ride. Come on down Sunday out here in Wood Hill Park, son. So going down out there.
That's gonna be popping.
Yeah, man.
And the Midwest do things different. They're nice and bright and loud. So you guys are gonna have a good time. Their bikes are loud.
Pictures, videos, all that stuff, man.
Please
Tag us, send them this way, man.
And please send this to us so we can share it.
Videos this way.
Video
sideways, with your phone sideways.
The whole time, videos this way, okay? All right, what's next?
Oh, summertime in the UNE. The Union City, this is going down July 16th. This is from 11 to 5 p.m. This is a ride, but it's a show and then a ride.
And then a ride,
Yeah, so it's going down, right?
Yes, yep. And make sure that you guys ask them what's the rules for the bike show and stuff, because they have rules. You must ride, for what I understand, you must ride your bike to enter the bike show for something of that nature. So hit them up. They'll let you know the information. It's hosted by the Kings of Kings, Warren Wong Wheels, and Lion's Mane Barbershop.
And again, man, pictures, videos, all that stuff, man, tag us, because we know there's some badass bikes out there.
Yes.
We know you guys got some badass bikes out there.
All right. What's that?
Oh, son, the SoCal.
Y'all don't understand. This show is going to be the epic show. This is by far going to be the dopest show out there right now. So make sure September 17th through the 18th, Santee, San Diego, Southern California, the SoCal Bike Show. Pedals Up Podcast will be there in full effect. You guys do not want to miss this show. If you are a bike builder that you have multiple bikes, bring them all. Bring as many as you possibly can. Tell all your other people, hey, y'all gonna have to find your own ride over there because I'm bringing all my bikes. So bring them all, station, give everything you got to this show, because we want to make sure that this show is going to be a legendary show, because Jimmy Peak has gone through a lot to get this location. The location is prime. I'm so excited for this show.
And this time, I mean, we're like Tony said, we're coming to this show, so we're coming a little different this time. If you guys start really paying attention, you're gonna notice things are being done a little different. So we coming different. So that's why we're saying come out to the SoCal show, because it's gonna be worth it, son.
Let's just say that your bikes are gonna be showing a lot.
Yes.
So yeah.
We've been telling you guys.
We've been telling
we're
you.
gonna go viral with this stuff, and we're not playing. In this show, really, we coming hard. We going hard, son. We coming with the 3-speed. We coming with the 3-speed this time, son. You know, we're not single speeding no more.
And Jimmy said we're not done yet. So there's a lot more stuff going on. So let's make this SoCal show gigantic. Okay, and then, you know, in every other show that you guys go on after this, make sure you do the same effort to every other show, because people put a lot of time and effort to these shows, a lot of money into this show, and if you get a small crowd, you know, it gets discouraging. Do not get discouraged, because everyone has gone through those steps. But so from here on out, all your bike show, this bike show right here, bring all the bikes, as many bikes as you can bring. If you're one guy that builds all these bikes, I'm telling you, you do not want to miss this show. All right, what's next? That's all?
Yeah, so again, we're just pushing for July right now.
Yes.
If you guys got stuff, and again, if you're in the chat room, man, go ahead, use the chat, promote your stuff, whatever you guys got going on.
Yes.
For all of you watching. Yep.
Yeah, so I mean, I know we cut down on the rides. But like how we said, we're trying to do things different. We're trying to talk with what's in the month, and then certain rides, you know, further out. But, you know, we're trying to change. And then, you know, with change, you know, things are new. And we're trying to do better things in the show. So let's talk about this bike of the week. You know, whenever you guys see this flyer right here, this is where you guys are supposed to post your bikes. And the way that one's laid out, that's how we would like for you guys to lay out your bikes in side view, sprocket side, and landscape. The phone this way when you guys take it. Okay, so that way, you know, everything is all coming, you know, it comes out nice and clear, and I can put it into the flyer and everything. So let's go with Danny's pick.
Yes, sir. So trying to come with a little bit of information, because when we pick these bikes, man, we really want to start highlighting why we pick them, why we like them, and what about the bike stands out to us. You know what I'm saying? So this week, I had to go with Florida. This is the owner is Leroy Tyson out there in Florida. This is a custom Coastal Cruisers frame, fork and handlebar set. You got some Chuck wheels and some shiny parts from Lawless Bicycles, and the paint was actually done by the owner, Leroy Tyson. So if you see this out there in Florida, man, check it out. This bike is actually called Swole, son.
It's called
Get
Swole?
your Swole on, son.
I love it.
Yeah, man.
Swole.
It's a dope bike, man. I like the frame. I like everything about it. And again, man, the parts to put these together, we're gonna start highlighting some of this stuff, so you guys know what it takes to put some of these custom cruisers together, man.
So I'm gonna make it easy for us to actually describe this. So when you submit your bike, I'm gonna make a form so you guys
give us all that info.
Fill out all that info, so we can actually talk about it on the show. We can just say, that's a cool bike, and then just move on.
Yeah,
no, we want to make sure to highlight everything that's going on, because it can be a painter, it can be a fabricator, it can be a wheel builder, it can be a leather guy, it can be whoever the person can be, but we want to make sure we highlight those people, especially on the show.
Yes, sir.
All right. So, you know, I went down to Southern California, and then, you know, this guy is always a character, and, you know, he always hides everything in his beard and everything. But, you know, this guy right here, I love hanging out with him and joking around with him. But I picked out Chris Face.
Oh, yeah. You
know, Chris Face, he's got one of this bike right here is so dope. He says that he made 2 bikes and put it in together. He welded up 2 bikes and made this, you know, this one-off bike with the banana seat and everything. Dude, it is a pretty cool bike. I love how creative he got, just getting 2 frames and just say, you know what, I'm gonna go like this and then go like this after.
Yeah, 2 custom cruiser frames.
Yeah, 2 custom cruiser
Yeah, you
frames.
can see the curves right there.
Yeah, so it's pretty dope, man. I mean, inspiration is everywhere. Okay, don't be like, oh, I can't do it. I mean, what you mean you can't do anything? I mean, you can do it. Take somebody to do something, so figure it out and do it. That's just how it is. That's just how things go. You know, but it is dope, man. Look at all of the curves and everything that he has done on that. But shout outs to you, Chris Face. We greatly appreciate it. You see the wall of bump boxes in the background too. Shout out to Bump Box. You know, they're in there too. But good job on that, Chris Face. Congratulations on being picked Bike of the Week for this week.
So that's why, for those of you who are watching, that's why we're trying to highlight a lot of this stuff,
yeah,
so
man.
you know exactly where to get it from, you know what I'm saying, and who to follow and who to reach out to.
Yeah, you gotta, you know, if you put that much money in your bikes, Okay, learn how to take a couple pictures, and if you learn how to take a couple pictures, you submit it over to us, or you submit it to wherever you see that flyer, and then we could be able to put it on.
And then going on right now, vote for the bike of the month.
Yes.
Share, but it has to be to the official Pedals Up podcast.
Yes.
For it to count. So if you're watching, you want to support your friends, you want to support, or it's just a badass bike, however you guys want to vote, man, that's up to y'all. We pick them. Y'all vote. Yes,
Y'all
sir.
vote, and we pick them. But the voting, you can share it onto your Facebook and everything, but make sure you tell them you have to vote on the Pedals Up podcast. So they have to come in and like us, and then we locked in, and then they're able to like the bike that they like. So I mean, there's people that are already shooting out their thing and you know, trying to get that. So yeah, so now we're gonna bring in, you know, we're doing some things differently now. We're doing some things differently now here on the Pedals Up podcast show, and you know, we're doing some clips. We're doing some small little videos and stuff like that for, you know, for better content, because you know we're changing, we're evolving. We're getting to that point that we are evolving and stuff. So you know, tonight we want to show this little video of our guest Brad Marlon, and so check this out.
My name is Brad Marlon, and I have been a hairstylist for the last 40 years. I mean, I grew up like everyone else. I mean, we rode our bikes everywhere when I was growing up, and leave when the sun comes up, come home when the street lights are on. And I've been into motorcycles most of my life. I was doing lots of Harleys, and ended up getting some bicycles, you know, to do the car shows with. You know, so I throw a bike in the back of my 54 Ford and go to car shows and ride the bike around. And then I was on a trip with my family. We have a ski place in Park City, Utah. Took a big crash and crushed my rib cage. And after getting injured in the ski accident, I was like, I'm getting really bored sitting around. So I went back to the store and bought that bike, got my first stretch cruiser, and then I started meeting a couple of people. So I met Tony Okoro. He's got the same nerve switchblade that I have, but he's done some things that I didn't know you could do, right? Cutting the tube shorter and putting bigger wheels on it and things along those lines. So I literally came home that night and started cutting that bike up. The difference between the custom car scene, the custom Harley scene, the custom antiquities, restoration and all that, is that with the bike scene, there's an entry point that everyone can get in here. It's like, you're not just gonna go start restoring antiques. You know, it's expensive, super expensive, but you can get into the bike world, you know, for $100.
Oh, well, okay. Yeah, well, it just went like, no worries. You know, we're live. It's okay. We just do things like that. So, yes. So, you know, like we said, we were doing some intros, we're doing some, you know, changing and everything. But, you know, now that you guys saw the video, now you get to see Mr. Brad Marlon. What's up, man? What's going on, Mr. Brad?
Yeah, things are good, man.
Dude.
No complaints. Not that anyone can give a shit anyway.
Hey, so you guys just went through a whole little journey of putting your garage together, huh? And
Yeah.
then
Oh my
this is
God.
kind of documenting it. This is kind of, I mean, you didn't really get to see a lot of this video, but yo, man, this thing is, looks pretty bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had a good time. We had a good time.
Yeah, Josh is a good kid, man. He asked some good questions, and, you know, hopefully I was able to answer them the best that I can. you know?
Yeah. But
And
then,
then,
How much thought went behind putting this garage together, putting it, I mean, because
for
you have
me,
a lot
none.
of bikes.
None for me.
But how much easier is it for you now? Now
It's
that you
amazing.
kind of see it, yeah.
Well, Paulie called me a few days before and let me know what we were going to do. And then I got a call from Tony saying, we got to do your garage. And, you know, it's funny, too, because my roommate, I have a little roommate that takes care of some things for me, especially when I'm out of town and whatnot. And I'm really grateful for that. And she actually she showed me pictures of these bike hangers and stuff. I'm like, I have way too many bikes for that. Way too many, you know. And then I went over to Tony's house, and it's funny how it's like, I went over to Tony's house. I went to this thing, and I met Tony, and I started hacking up shit, you know, blah, blah, blah. And then, you know, so I was over at Tony's house, and he had hung some of them up, and I saw the system there instead of just a picture of things, because, you know, you can see pictures of stuff on Amazon or whatever.
all
You know,
day long.
you get it home, and it's like, you know, flimsy as it's like I'm hanging it with tape.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like I worry. You know, I don't want to. You know, and it's a good reason we should worry.
Yeah.
So
we'll explain why.
Yeah, we'll explain why. So Tony said, "I'll come." I said, "If you want to do it, man, you got to come over early on Sunday morning." And he came over, and we kind of. I'd already kind of pre-emptied out the garage, and because I had a lot of things in there, you know, besides toolboxes, you know, big long toolbox sections and a hot rod. And
It's a garage.
It's a garage.
Yeah.
It has everything but the car I drive in it.
Yeah.
And, because that won't even fit in there. So nevertheless, he came over and, you know, we started to map it out and we had to go to 2 different stores because we bought so many hangers that we wiped out both stores, basically.
13 hangers.
13, yeah.
13 hangers, and
Yeah.
we hung up 12 bikes because we couldn't fit any more bikes on the wall.
Right?
Yeah.
So we had these anchors that were supposed to be, that had a rating of 75 pounds each, right? And we're like, okay, 75 pounds each, and we're like, ding, 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 hangers. You know, these drywall
Anchors?
and yeah, man, and so we're working on some other stuff and cleaning up some more stuff and rearranging some other stuff, and all of a sudden we hear crack.
And I turned around like, uh-oh.
Yeah.
And we're clearing up to get to the, and then all of a sudden the rack came down.
But it came down like,
Oh
it
my
came down like,
God.
It came down, yeah,
like this,
on the side.
with 6 bikes hanging on it.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and so now they're all kind of all on top of each other and doing weird shit. Fortunately, I had Tony and I had my buddy Ross came over to lend a hand, and I called another buddy who used to do. That's what this is all about,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You know, that's what this is really all about. It's like, you know, there's always someone to help.
Yes.
Right? That's what I love about this scene, man. You know, Polly and I were just talking to the back. It's like, yeah, man, I was trying to get so-and-so to do such and such, and yeah, they were like, I don't know, man, I'm kind of, and my friends through the bike scene and my friends, period, you know, are just like, I'll be right there.
I'll be right there.
You
We'll
know?
do it. We'll do it real
Jimmy
quick.
Peak says studs.
Studs.
Of course we are.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, that's the first thing I asked him too. I'm like, hey,
So-
did you find the studs? And
Okay, so the thing about the studs, we were trying to find it, but Brad, out of all the things that he has, he didn't have a stud finder, but he bought one, and then we actually found the studs.
That
So-
thing didn't work worth
He
shit.
has one,
but it didn't work
it's
out.
called the mirror. It's
But-
just a different stud finder, son.
Moral of the story is, find the studs, and then you can put anything else around.
Yes,
because-
and not to mention, a friend of mine used to do a ton of low voltage stuff, doing alarm systems and hanging giant TVs and whatnot. And I hit him up, and he said, you need to get these ratchet toggles. So we did a bunch of the ratchet toggles. It's like a metal toggle on the end, and it goes through the drywall and flips over on the other thing, and you ratchet to the wall, and it holds it right there.
it works
so,
out.
Yeah, so much better than like the butterfly style and all that, but it worked out great. Tony said, hey man, I keep checking on that rack. I said, every 10 minutes for the last 72 hours.
That's crazy.
Dude, and the collection,
You know,
the
but
collection
what's done
is
is done.
great.
I'm grateful for the help. Thank you very much.
No problem, my
garage
friend.
looks amazing. Thank you very much. And you know, I walk in there and I'm like, ooh, it's like I got breathing room.
Now for some
And there's
people,
there's only 2 bikes in the house.
You guys just
Yeah.
you guys just see bikes, but every bicycle in there has a story. I mean, a lot of
yeah.
these pictures that we're looking at, just kind of going through some of your history when you kind of came in and the evolution of your bikes. That's crazy. I mean, you still have a lot of these bicycles that you kind of started off with.
Well, so the very first kind of semi-custom, we'll call it semi-custom, right? Was I had this, my friend Ross, that was over at the house, right? He had bought that bike to try to make his son cool,
Yeah.
right? And he was trying to do cool shit with his son, and his son wasn't biting. And that was a Nerve switchblade, and I was trying to find cool parts for that, and I used to stick it in I have a 54 Ford F100, and I used to throw it in the back of that and go to car shows with it, but I had these obnoxious 30-inch handlebars.
Yeah, these
and,
big bars.
yeah, and whatnot, and 144 spoke skinny wheels, and then I went to a show. I went to a meetup over at Artistic Cruisers, and I met Tony, and I noticed Tony had 29-inch wheels on his, and his was like all slammed, and I'm like, wait, you could do that? And I'm thinking, and that very night I went home and cut it. I cut it up and dropped it down and changed the stance, and then I found out. I started doing a little bit of lurking around on. So there's the switchblade, after, those are the first handlebars I ever bought from Jimmy Peak. And I'm like, yeah. And then the wheels, Warren Wan did the wheels for both those bikes. Robert Martinez did the seat on the left bike on the Fat Cycle.
Yeah, the stock one on the right.
And then it evolved. All the things evolved. So Tony's brother ended up with the Switchblade after I finished customizing it. I went all out and had it all repainted and all repowdered and everything. The bike on the left, the Fat Cycle, ended up sitting around and collecting dust, and then there was a fundraiser, right? And they wanted a themed bike, so it's like, well, we're almost there, right? So we did a Raiders theme out of it, and it sold to auction.
Wow.
And raised some money. Let's talk about the auction thing.
Yes.
Let's talk about raising some money, doing good things with the thing. So what I discovered was that I've started building a lot of bikes, and after a while, you've got quite a bit of money into them. You know, the truth is you can do a few different things. There are a couple of different raffles out there where you can buy spots and win these bikes. But if you try to ship this stuff, it's 100 pounds of shipping, and disassembly and the whole bit. So that kind of was like, I don't really want to do that, So, it's funny how just things kind of come your way. It's like, well, what am I going to do, And I got a call from a friend of mine who's in the art business, and they were doing a fundraiser for, we have a museum here in Las Vegas, and we're talking about Las Vegas, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So we have a museum here in Las Vegas called the Neon Boneyard, and it has the old neon signs from the old hotels in Las Vegas. It's a big history thing for Las Vegas. So they were doing a fundraiser, and Tim Burton, the director and the writer, that a lot of people love it.
Yeah, Nightmare Before
Nightmare
Christmas.
Before
Yeah, Beetlejuice and Sleepy Hollow, you name it. He's done a ton of great stuff, and he was the featured artist at this event, and he was they were selling some of his stuff at auction as well. And
with all of us in it.
What ended up happening is she asked me if I would do a bike up for auction to that, and I reached out to some friends, and I said we had like a month, right, to put a bike together.
We had a month, yeah.
And so we were able to put a team of people together and created this bike that was very Tim Burton-esque. Had all of those type features on it. Had black and white spoked fanned wheels and the whole bit. And we got it done, took it to that auction. We were invited. We had a wonderful table there.
It was great.
Actually, my family bought the table. My family bought the table for us. And then I invited everyone to come to be a part of this thing. And we had no idea what was going to happen, right? It's like, man, if we got $1,200, we'd be so thrilled, and this, that, and the other. And they started, so they put the bike in the staging area where people could walk around and look what the bid items were. And Tony made this badass sign to go that's one of them right there.
Yeah.
Made this badass sign with all our pictures, and he created a logo for me because I was the only one that didn't have one. And I still use the same logo today, and I'm grateful for that. I just had a badass stand made out of it. And so what happened is they finally get to the bike, and you kind of know what's the hot item, I guess, because people are starting to check them out, because that's what sets the order for the bids, right? That set the order. So we were second to last on the thing, and so we still, it's me and Tony and his girlfriend and the Belliers, my brother and his wife. And they started this bid at what? Like $1,000.
$1,000.
Right? And we're like, yeah.
We're like
People
this.
were like,
We're
yeah.
excited. We're like,
and at the end of it, there's a video there's a video of this of it. What happened? And at the end of it, we ended up selling it out for $7,000.
$7,000.
That's a big deal.
That was a big
That's huge.
deal. That was so
That's
big,
huge.
right?
That was big.
So then that one thing leads to another, and I get a call from a representative from the Vegas Golden Knights. And we'd already done a Golden Knights themed bike, and Tony was part of that build, and Warren Wong, and Jimmy Peak's frame, and Robert Bellier's handlebars, and Warren Wong's wheels, and it was electric. And we put that into auction to raise money for the Golden Knights Foundation.
That one.
And it sold for $10,000.
Wow.
So all that money,
$10,000?
$10,000. Now understand, I don't sell the bikes. I just give the bikes to them. and allow them to raise the money purely for the
But
cause.
it's a big deal. It's a huge deal
100%.
because I keep trying to tell you, like everyone that's watching, like there is no, when it comes to top of the food chain with these bicycles, it's you guys. It's,
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
there is no top. So
No.
they can find cars, they can find motorcycles, but when it comes to bicycles, something that you can't just go to any bike shop, which this is art pieces.
Yeah.
People will pay for this when it comes to the raffles. And a lot of this really is show pieces.
Yeah.
And again, the way Vegas works, well, you know, it's who you know. And to make things happen sometimes, even in the bicycle world, is who you know, making relationships, reaching out to people. And one thing about you that I do got to say is, with a lot of the stuff that you do bring out, I'm sure you've pushed a lot of these guys to think outside the box a little bit, maybe one-on-ones that
one
you've
thing's for
worked
sure,
on them.
they have certainly got me thinking outside of the box. You know, I've always been into creative things. I'm a musician. I've been a hairstylist for a long, long time, 40 years nearly. It was in the motorcycles, custom cars, and the bicycle thing is really neat for me. One is because I get to meet so many talented people, you know. So the Golden Knights bike, the Jimmy Peak, I just had to have it. Jimmy actually had that frame done for somebody else, and they fell through. And he called me and asked me if I'd be interested.
Oh,
And I was
wow.
like, absolutely. So we got it. So we did it. And what was really nice is I took the bike, I threw it in the back of the truck, and I went to Huntington Beach, and I went to see Warren. He signed it. I had Robert Bellier sign it. I took it over to Jimmy's house in Santee, and he signed it. And then everyone who was involved in it put their signature on it. Tony actually did all of the writing in the wheels. He did all the lettering when they were all raw, or when they were just powder coated, and then we did all the lettering, and it came out amazing, and people really enjoyed it. And you know, I think that, you know, what's very important for me where I'm at in life right now is to pay it forward. You know, I've been very blessed with an opportunity to do a lot of cool things, man. But you know, I can't enjoy unless I give it away. There's an old saying that says you can't keep it unless you give it away. Yeah. And it's like, so what I get to keep for what I give away is it means a lot more to me.
Dude,
you know,
you are a humbling man. We always have a good time. We have really good conversations when it comes down to bikes and in life in general. Yeah. And and we bounce ideas. We may not have to agree on certain things, but that's okay, because friends can have disagreements but still be friends.
Well, if we all agreed on the same shit, what would the fuck we talk about?
Right, exactly.
You know.
But the cool thing is, like, with taking some of these bikes to people, like you probably seen it more than most. The reaction on people's faces when they see a cool bicycle, like people outside of the bike world, because a lot of times you get the pride and all that, like. They'll watch your bike from afar and wait till you leave to go, like, really, like, you know what I mean? But when it's actual people that's from outside, whoa, they're taking, like, pictures and everything, because that's the most amazing thing they've ever done. And a lot of times, people in the bike community lose that. They lose that because you've been already maybe 10 bikes deep or whatever, you know what I'm saying? So sometimes just watching the reaction of someone watching or seeing a custom cruiser for the first time brings that excitement back. But not only that, now you're pushing it into the BMX game. You're coming hard too with that. Like, not coming regular, not coming basic. Regular. Like, I mean, you're pushing it too.
Brad. We always had a joke that we always say, we don't ride stock.
We don't ride stock.
We don't ride stock.
No. I was at a bike shop, and I was, I'd seen a couple of the 29ers running around, and I was at a bike shop, and they had an SC and they had a Throne. And, because I've already been working with stuff, sealed bearings and running lines through the frames and things along those lines, I'm like really checking out what the difference is, right? And I noticed that for, personally, just my particular, I thought the Throne was a better build. When it came to how the options were done, like it was running the cables through the frame, it was running sealed bearings when the wheels, the bottom bracket and the head tube. And I'm like, this is a better build for me. So I bought that Throne, excuse me, and I was like, it didn't take long before I'm like, I think I'm ready to move on to something else. And my next, so I went from the Throne to a Bassett, you know.
Instantly.
There was no in between. And so I got turned on to Bassett, and you know, you're right, dude, man. It's about building relationships.
Yeah.
This whole thing, it's not bikes. It's life.
Yeah.
That's what this is all about.
Yep.
Right? Stop looking for the wrong in people and start looking for the right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay? Because you can, you know, usually when you're looking for wrong in people, it's because you recognize that same wrong in yourself. Right? So it's like we're jockeying for position. It's like for statuses and this. And none of that shit's going to matter in the end. It's not going to matter in the end. It's about the relationships you build. And this whole thing, this whole life that we have, and we have this common thing with the bicycles, but it's about building relationships. And I have built, there's a relationship right there.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So everybody from the Netherlands, right? He's like, yeah, we don't have any of these kind of bikes here. It's like, I'll tell you what, I'll give you the bike, you get it home.
That's making history.
That's making history.
That's more than
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's like really like making a mark.
Yep.
Now they're bringing that style. They can say they're the first, or they can say whatever it is that comes with it. But that's the thing is, like, y'all made it happen because hanging out. It's not a pride thing. It's not. It's just really just hanging out. Like that's how a lot of this starts.
100%. It is not who's better than. Right? It's who will have your back when you really need them.
Yep.
You know, and I'm not talking about someone starting to fight with you. I'm just talking about, you know, I need someone to talk to, man.
That's it.
That's it.
That's
you know, I'm going through this, or I'm going through that, or I'm going through this, man. And you know, it's more about, you know, building a community of people that have each other's best interests in mind, that have respect for each other, regardless of their political differences.
Yeah.
You know, if those motherfuckers are lying about everything, why are we gonna support them? They have yet to come to my house and go, hey, man, I see that you have too many leaves floating in your pool. Would you like me to skim them for you? Not once, right? So I'm just saying, man, you know, if people aren't pretending to be real here. They're just real, right? But some people, we'll call them newbies, right? So new people come along and they're not quite sure what's going on. And they'll use what I call their armor-covered cream puffs, right? So they shield themselves with all this stuff because they're really quite sensitive inside. They get hurt, maybe get hurt easily. So they come in on this thing with armor first, right? It's like, hey, man, try coming in with heart first.
Yeah.
Because that might work for you a little better in this
a lot
scene.
easier.
And we're very welcoming cats,
welcome.
right? No matter what it is you think, but, you know.
But because a lot of them, again, they're coming from different. It could be from the cars, could be from motorcycles, whatever it is. That
Could be from a gang.
Yeah, and a lot of them found that like, oh shit, you know what I mean? So when they come here, because I was defensive that way, I didn't reach out to a lot of people because I just kind of felt certain ways. But then I was like, once I kind of, again, let my guard down and really started accepting people for who they are and just kind of, and now for people that are watching this, don't know what we're talking about like bike shows, the biking community, like it's still a small thing, but after the COVID thing went viral and it's gotten more mainstream, so this is just the beginning.
Yep.
Like it really is.
Basically.
Like, I mean, there's a lot of people that laid the foundation. There's other ones now that are pushing the limits, the envelopes or whatever, and now it's really our turn to take this shit viral because really, I mean, you got to see a little taste of what these bicycles can do and the doors they can open.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because a lot of this is really who you know. It's just reaching out, but a lot of, not talking shit, but a lot of people aren't ready to take it to that level yet. So that's why we've been growing as a bike community. That's why these shows help to push to not to who's better, but to make this the game, the bike game or whatever, the custom game to the next level, because it takes guys like Brad that are gonna invest in bicycles that are quality.
Yeah.
This way you know what quality is. So when you see a bicycle, you're like, oh shit, this is what I want. You know what I'm saying? Like, not you can see it in person, you can ride it, because that's another cool thing about Brad is he'll let you ride the bikes. And then you not
That's
only
only because I want to see what it looks like going down the
That's
road.
exactly.
Yeah,
I get to ride the majority of his bikes first. I'm like, I get excited because he come over and ride
speaking
it.
of new, I
That's
mean,
cool.
the e-bike game is still new. You've had a few pedal assists, correct?
No, I have one pedal assist,
pedal
and I
assist.
have the hub drives.
Okay, so you're not new to it either. So there is a lot of
I
potential.
stole the idea from Jimmy Peak.
But there is a lot of potential in that. You know,
Yeah.
now, again, you guys were maybe early. What is it? It's the right idea. That's why we keep talking this, because it's the right idea at the wrong timing, but the right message. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna hit, and it eventually, like with you guys, keep pushing it and really, again, taking it to that next level.
Well, no offense to young people, but only the old people can afford this shit. So
Yeah,
we've got to
and-
get them in the groove, and they're going to need pedal assist.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. But
Yeah,
also
that's the
these
truth.
companies.
That's what's, you know, the e-bike thing is really what's grown the people getting back outside and going down there, however they're going to do it, you know. And it has allowed, you know, people in there, you know, that are in their 50s, 60s, 70s, or a little overweight, or whatever the case may be, that gets them outside and starts to do things, you know. And I think, you know, the e-bike game is just another part of this game, you know. And it's, you know, I've done a couple, because I'll tell you what, these goddamn bikes are heavy.
Oh, yeah.
You know. And we do some uphill grades, you know, and it's like eventually that gravity takes over. I don't care how strong you think you are. You know?
Brad will be just zooming through everybody now, you know. And it is cool to see that, and it is true that the e-bike game is growing a lot.
Yeah.
And with that being said, like, I work for e-bike marketplace, and I deal with a lot of customers, but a lot of the classic customers, I call classic older people, more mature people, I call them classics. So the classics come out, and they are like, you know what, I can't lift my leg over, I can't do this, I can't pedal the way I used to. I hear stories of older gentlemen that they were cyclists back in their days, and they had this, they had that, and blah blah blah. And it's like, but he's all, with the electric now, I can get back because my arthritis in my knees, this and that. So it is part of this now. It's going to keep going even better.
Yeah, well, you want to talk about trickle-down economics, right? So grandpa and grandma get electric bikes, and then they go out riding with their kids and the grandkids. And now the kids and the grandkids can't keep up, so they buy electric bikes for the kids and the grandkids. You know, and it just goes on and on and on, right? So now you got all kinds. You're seeing these, you know, what is that? Super 73s or whatever. You know, it's like that bike you'll see in everywhere. There's another company called Zeus or Zeusk that's making some like BMX style ones. Tony did my one of my Bassets with a bottom bracket kit that is
mid-drive,
yeah, and I took it to an all BMX thing, and of course they were all shitting on it at first, and then they all took it for a ride, and they're like, I'm in.
I'm in. So,
and one thing, you know, with this bike community, cool thing about, like, I follow Art Ramirez, the Scrap Father. You got an e-bike, shit, take it to his house. He'll convert it into a custom
e-bike.
You know what I'm saying? So sacrifice, you know, for all the equipment, for all the parts, because that stuff does cost money. It does.
It does cost money.
No. Let me ask you this, like really, I know a salesman and shit, but put all that aside. What's cheaper, to build your own or just to buy one? For someone that's starting, someone coming in, I'm not talking about for someone with a custom, but for every day.
Buy a bike.
You buy a bike and then build
understand, buy an e-bike first, ride it, understand it, and then go. If you're that type of person to do it yourself type of thing, then go ahead and do it.
Yeah.
Unless you're really mechanically inclined and you really understand how things work and stuff, then you can start piecing it. But you have to know what goes to what. I mean, you can't just say, oh, I'm gonna buy a 1,000-watt motor and then I'm gonna go 89 miles. But yeah, you're gonna go 89 miles or whatever, but you're gonna go downhill and you have to be a little Asian person about this skinny. You know, and then that's how they because majority of all these bikes are all made in China. And then when they make them in China, they tell you how fast they're gonna go, but they're all small. They're all pretty much small compared to over here. So it's a lot of understanding. The thing that happens with electric bikes is that people get discouraged when they buy a bike online, on Amazon, eBay, wherever they buy it, and they just get it. So they just think they just turn on the power and it's gonna go. They get really discouraged if they don't understand what they're doing with it.
A lot of it too with the shipping, where you got it from, like how they handled it, all that stuff matters, because it could be a good brand, and that's the other thing too, is like brands. We don't know brands. We're trying to save money and go the cheap route. But some of this stuff is not. It's an investment. So
right, but on the other hand, you know, it's like, so you know, of course I have a lot of bikes, but you know, when Tony started working with this company, they were offering up this bottom bracket kit, which basically works best with the European bottom bracket.
Yes, it does.
It works. The best setup is a European bottom bracket. You know, so if you've got an older bike sitting around that's got a European bottom bracket, just like you want to get back into it, clean that bike up and make it electric. If you already have the bike, the electric setup's what? Retails about $1,200.
About
complete.
$1,200, yeah.
So
With
that's the
battery and
bottom
stuff.
bracket, the batteries, the controllers, the whole bit. I was able to set up and make it really clean. So, you know, I have 29-inch electric Bassett that is
You're
my
the first.
favorite electric, and I have the
That's
very
the
first
first
one.
That's
Thank you
the
very
first
much.
Bassett
So,
electric.
because I developed a relationship,
Yes, with
I
Bassett.
got lucky and
And
ended up going, hey, they're like, he was asking me and I was asking him, and we worked out a deal, and it worked out great.
And
you know?
it worked out. So
Yeah.
so it's just all it is just how he said it's just relationships and then knowledge of things. I mean, we all have friends in the bike life community and people that are builders, wheel builders, upholstery, painters, all kinds of stuff, that engravers, all kinds of it. So we try to make sure that when you start a conversation with somebody or a relationship with somebody, that you're good all the way through. Because when you start doing shady stuff, the community is really small and it goes back really quick to you.
Yeah.
So you just gotta be a good person, man. That's just it. It's just
I
be a
got
good
some
person.
advice for
That's
some
right.
of the cats out there, bike scene cats, you know, that are out there. It's everyone's getting a little lonely and they want to get a relationship rolling. And
Yeah.
It's like, you know, it's like a lot of different places, man. If you want to find a relationship in the bike scene, you know, the odds are good, but the goods are odd.
The goods are. It's hard, and you know, but when you bring somebody, if you have somebody that's already in the bike scene, fantastic, you score.
Yeah.
But when you bring somebody in and you see their faces for their first time going in and like, wow, I didn't know, and then they get hooked.
Yeah.
They get just as hooked, and you know, you start going and going and going. I mean, we got. Look at Brad. Brad's got women on his bikes and everything.
That was a fun day.
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 But stuff like
That's my
this,
friend Melissa.
it
She
does
was she hit me up after she saw some pictures of these bikes, and she's like, "I'd love to do a photo shoot with your bike." She obviously does some crazy stuff. She does a lot of pinup, whatnot, but she was really cool enough to do this, and she was dating the photographer that did this at the time. So I called Tony. I said, "Hey, man, I'm gonna go use this model and do a little photo shoot with the bike." She's like, "All right, that sounds cool." He had no idea what he was walking into.
None.
You know, he's got a. There's a boudoir shot of him. With
You have the
this shoot.
picture? Did you get the picture? I sent it on Messenger.
Oh, you found it?
Yeah, I
No,
found
nice.
it. I found it.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, that day was a very interesting day because
Yeah.
it was.
So we did like 4 different bikes, and
Yeah.
I actually traded the photographer. I did a custom tandem for him because he basically shoots naked, beautiful women all day, you know, and he wanted something that he could do like 2 women.
Yeah. So that worked.
Lucky
That worked
son
out.
of a bitch.
Lucky
Little
guy.
Asian guy wasn't even taller than this table. You
But
know?
again,
But he was doing
knowing
great.
the right people, having
yeah.
the right
Oh, there I am.
connections, that's all it takes sometimes.
Yeah,
It's
there's
just reaching
Tony.
out.
Look at that
Yeah.
sexiness right now. Look at that.
We had to
Man.
CG the clothes back on him.
Woo. Yeah. I was naked and everything. Y'all
So,
missed
you
it.
know, I can explain how I met her, right? This is how you build those relationships. So I got a call from a guy that was doing a photo shoot and needed to use a vintage truck. So they used my truck, right? And that picture of my truck with me standing in front of it with the guitar, that my brother shot that picture. And I met Melissa at that shoot, right? So we were, yeah.
And I met Melissa at that shoot.
You were at the
cool.
Rockabilly shoot?
No, this shoot.
And then you
This
met
shoot.
Melissa at
That's,
this
This
shoot.
that's a
shoot.
cool
Right.
picture.
Dude, that's a dope picture.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we met. That's at the Rick's Restoration.
Ah.
So we did the shoot there because he had all those cool backdrops. You know, because he's got all these vintage kind of facades going all the way around and down the building lines. You know, it looks like old storefronts and this, that, and the other thing. So, yeah. So then my brother is an artist, and he shot this photograph, and then he gave me a gift of the photograph, all hand painted,
Oh, really?
which I have hanging in my music room or outside of my music room.
Dude, it's like when I always say it to Brad. Brad is like the Dos Equis man, the most interesting man in the world.
But that's
You know,
cool.
but
It's
it's
cool
cool
that
to see
he's
that.
in the bike
Dude.
game because again, man, like just opening those doors to get a taste of what can, you know, really happen with these bicycles.
Yeah, listen, man, you know, I'm pretty much there all by myself, so I love the fact that you guys want to come and hang out, and we'll talk shop, and, you know, and talk life, and, you know, clean garages.
It's a clean garage. it is always a good time at Brad's house, a good conversation. There's always something to do at Brad's, always something to see at Brad's house with all his bikes and stuff. But if you guys ever get the chance to meet Brad in person and, you know, at one of the rides, he's very approachable, very cool, very knowledgeable about a lot of the bikes that he's worked on and the things that he's learned and stuff. I mean, we've gone through a lot of things that just by like certain washers, just by a hair of this and doing this, certain things, we share those secrets with each other about building bikes.
Math matters.
Math, oh my gosh, math matters so much.
So for all of you out there that were telling your 5th grade math teacher that you would never need this
you do need
in
it.
Your life, you owe her an apology, right? Because apparently math matters.
Math does matter in this, but you know, growing into this. I mean, you and I have been going through this at probably around the same time. Yep. You've been in the game for a little longer before me, but we're all in the same era. But with that being said, we have grown so much and learning a lot of types of building and stuff like that. So I enjoy it.
The path has been different, but we've all kind of just been there, and that's the thing is like that's why I tell people that are new to this and have no idea what the biking community is. It really is that it's a getaway for some of us.
Yes, definitely.
And that's why some of us are passionate, some of us really go at it sometimes, but it is a family, and that's the beautiful thing, and it's only growing, and that's the thing that again we're excited for this SoCal show because man, it's going to be a huge show.
I don't know. Brad's got a U-Haul he's got to get to take all his bikes.
If I wanted to take him at once. You know, can I give a shout out?
Yes, you can. You can do it. You can shout out. Yes, you can.
In the BMX scene, I hang out with the heavy hitters, and I sponsor a little bit stuff with them, and you know, they turned me on to this guy up in Sacramento area named Roger Jacobs Jr.
Oh yeah.
And I know you guys have been seeing the bike stands, and I got introduced to him through the BMX scene, but he and I have been talking a lot about doing some prototypes for some stretch cruiser stuff, right? Some front wheel stands that basically are designed to keep the front wheel from flopping, but it's a beautiful, beautiful 3D stand and he does them in all these different designs. And you know, I was grateful to have the opportunity to get one to Jimmy Peak. Jimmy, it'll probably be there on Saturday because they shipped it out today. And and he's the nicest guy. So if you guys want to check him out, his name is Roger Jacobs Jr. And if you go to his page, then that'll lead you to his works page, and you'll see a bunch of the stands that he's done. And he can pretty much do anything with a PDF, and he's a really, really, really nice guy.
Sure. Well, I'm looking forward to meet him at one time.
I've already got your design in mind.
Oh man!
But you do need your Brad Marlon edition, whatever it is.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Because you are revolutionizing some of this stuff. You are pushing some of this stuff.
Yeah, I'm trying to get involved with this stuff. You know.
But sometimes it's good to really put your name on it, like to really get credit, to really say, hey, you know what? I can make something of this, or something of this can be, because we've seen it now. It can be done just reaching out, because some of these companies have the know-how to.
That bike has my head badge on it, Brad Marlon. Yes. That bike actually was, I asked Craig Turner to if he could build me a particular frame, and he said sure. And when I got the frame, it was, the serial number says BM01.
Yeah.
So Brad Marlon 01.
You see that?
Yeah, and so Adam Degenowitz in Poland, if I say that name correctly, which I don't know if I ever do, but I'm sure he's cool with it. He made me the head badges a couple years ago, and now I'm really starting to use them because I was like going, you know. But, you know, I kind of got involved into the design aspects of these builds, and now I feel comfortable with that. You know, I'll put my own name on it now.
Dude, it's dope, and you do excellent work.
Did you put up a picture of the logo stand that I did? So Tony was kind enough to make me a logo.
Not on this, because everything I was doing, I'll be like rushing with everything else. But look on Brad Marlon's Facebook and his Instagram. We're gonna post a lot more of those stands and everything. So if you guys want to check those out, dude, they're worth to go look at. They're nice. They're a great piece for your show. You already spent thousands of dollars on your bikes. I mean, might as well spend a couple more hundred just for a nice stand.
No, don't spend money on that
No,
stuff. Just stick it on the pedal.
Man,
just stick it on the pedal.
it's always a great conversation having you in the studio.
And I love you
thank
guys.
you for coming out,
awesome.
man. This
Greatly
is amazing.
It's been a couple of years now.
Yeah, man. Hey,
I
man.
felt, my beard was less white when I did this.
Hey, but we
time.
came right this time with the
came
videos
right.
and everything, and we
Yeah.
have more videos right after.
We have a video at the end. So we're like we said, we're involving with the show. We have been doing this for 2 years already. We are evolving with the show. We brought Brad back to the show. And the start of the evolution of the show. So with that being said, you guys are going to start seeing more different things with the show. We're trying to highlight a lot of more things and more videos. So, I mean, do you have any other shout outs that you want to say to anybody?
I'll answer a couple of these questions. Pedro, I do not need a 20-inch lowrider bike. Chowda. That means he's like, oh, wow, he likes that. Art Ramirez, it's funny. It's like you develop these relationships. So Art Ramirez called me up and he said, dude, I've got these French horns, right? And I thought you might want them. And I'm like, hell yeah, I want them. And I sent him a picture of all the horns around the music room and stuff. So I talked to him about the DNA and all this, souls of musicians, blah, blah, blah. So he just said he has them for me, which I'll get him, Art, man, I promise. Need to do it in the studio. Thanks for a great show. You're welcome, Michelle.
Amazing.
It was an amazing show.
Yes.
But yeah, man, thank you very much, Brad, for coming on the show.
Ed Contreras, you were supposed to call me back hours ago.
Yeah, see, Ed, you're supposed to call him back out. It's already now. It's documented. It's on YouTube forever.
Hey, guys, like, subscribe, and share. Very important.
Jimmy wants to do it in studio, man. You got to get him out here.
Jimmy.
Please.
Son.
You just stay at my house.
You know your family.
You fam. So you come down. Hey, man, thank you very much, Brad. Thank you guys very much for tuning in to this show.
Thank you.
Hey, man, it's been a hell of a ride, but we're enjoying this ride. But do not close out yet. Watch this video. It's a special video that we did just yesterday.
Big time
video at the Hump Day Ride out here in Las Vegas, Nevada. Check this out. And thank you guys very much for tuning in. And if you ain't got a bike, get a bike. Stop being lazy in your goddamn life and check out this video. I'm Tony Vegas, and this is Pedals Up. How you guys doing? This is Tony Vegas, Pedals Up. This is my friend Kevin Schaub.
My oldest sister taught me how to ride a bike when I lived in Hawaii.
Oh, really?
And my parents were going to throw my bike away, so my sister taught me how to ride it. So I started riding, turned pro, blah, 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 career was over, and then I got a job with Amy Grip. All your Amy Grip needs, just hit me up. Expedo pedals, you hit me up for those too. And
tell us about your bike.
all right, so let's go on this side so we can get Rhonda. That's her name, Thick Rhonda. It's a Eastern Thick Rhonda. My friends own Eastern, so they hooked me up with bikes. Love it. Rocking Expedo pedals. Here's my pedals that I rep for too. It's all 4130 chromoly, 20-inch for life, man. I'll never grow up and ride a bigger bike than a 20-inch. 53, and I'm gonna ride 20-inch for life, baby.
Yeah, there he is. All right, man. But thank you, man. Hey, ride safe. Thank you very much. Hey, Amy Grips. That's the plug right there. Yep. Amy Grips and
not only are we U.S. made, but we're Vegas made too.
What's up, Teddy?
You, baby.
How you doing?
And all these beautiful people out here every Wednesday night.
So this is Teddy right here, a professional bike rider from back in the day. So tell everybody who you are right here.
I'm known for being the first guy ever to ride a 24-inch cruiser in the King of the Skate Park series in 1984.
I see you smashing all the time when I see you riding.
I took a little time off to race some kids, but you can't take the bike away from the boy.
No.
I'm riding a 22-inch now, so I'm still out of the norm.
This isn't a regular bike, man.
Well, there's a story behind this bike. This is a prototype of the first 22-inch company that built a 22-inch bike. This was a prototype built and tested by Eddie Fiola, famous for being in Red and just a badass dude. Eddie gifted it down to me. I've been testing it out. I got the new model, but this is a prototype. This bike has seen some miles. This ain't no carbon clear.
But it looks like the 80s. But it looks like it. It looks good.
So do I.
Very cool, man. Very cool.
Very cool. Hey, man, you don't know what you're going to see out here. You're going to see a whole bunch of people out here tonight. Wednesday night rides here in Vegas is a large ride. We'll end up having about 200 to 300 people. Teddy's out here riding. Kevin's out here riding. Right. There's so many people riding bicycles. So, hey, if you ain't got a bike, get a bike. Stop being lazy in your goddamn life because it's such a fun time to ride a bike. You can always just ride a bike and be a kid again at the age that you are. We're enjoying ourselves, watching everybody ride bikes. As you can see, we like bikes.
Yeah, we do. And so do they.
And so do they.
Yep.
You know, it's like anytime you want to get up, get out the couch, okay, go look at that bike, put some air in the tires and go ride your bike. Everyone else is doing it. Why are you staying at home? This is what we do.
Yeah, but make sure safety first. Lights, headlight, backlight, helmets, pumps, tubes, all that stuff, because you do get flats, and we don't want you guys getting pulled over, and safety is key.
Got that shit, boy. Why these niggas mad at me? Cause I was fast, cause I was quick to grab her. Ain't speaking on me, dog, I just don't understand. To get some pussy, you won't have to bring up your mans. Ain't no conversation, I don't do the pillow talk. The more I listen, all you niggas do is pillow talk. Should nobody know you talking on a regular. When I got